Of relationship show is copywritten. No one is to use any portion of the show without express written consent from myself, Greg Dudzinski, or the Art of Relationships. Thank you. Hey, welcome everybody. I'm Greg Dudzinski, the usual host. I'm a fully licensed professional counselor, relationship and sex specialist here in Metro Detroit. Have been for many years. And my passion is trying to help others, you know what, have that relationship they've always craved, dreamt about. And we're not talking about fantasy land, okay? Nothing is perfect. Let's be real, okay? Nothing is perfect. But are you able to connect on a deeper level? And we're going to talk about that today on today's episode. And I want to give a special announcement. I am going to be doing an unusual live show episode next Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to have a buddy with me, Mr. Rondell Biggs, and people might remember his name. He was defensive end many years ago, well, maybe not that many years ago, for University of Michigan. We rip on each other. I'm a State fan, but he's going to be on with me, and he's doing a lot of positive stuff out there to help people out there. We're going to be talking about dating. So tune in next Wednesday night live, 9 p.m. You'll be able to call in, join in, just like today. Join in the live discussion. Enter your, comments, your insights, whatever, down below, okay? Topic suggestions. I'm always looking for topic suggestions, okay? So private message me them, throw them my way, okay? And I'm going to talk about deepening the connection, excuse me, and going after, what does deepening connection mean? And it's still ironic, I would say, or maybe sad, where a lot of people, they don't get it. They don't know what it takes to deepen a connection. And you know what? I understand them. I get that. If you're not taught about that, what do you do with it? Or you feel like deepening a connection is buying someone gifts or something like that. I'm talking about deepening the emotional connection. And the emotional connection, physical connection can go hand in hand, or at least I promote that, okay? And I'm going to get into that a little bit. But when you look at, and if you envision, what the hell does a deep connection mean, emotional connection? You can laugh together, joke around with each other. Absolutely. There's some couples that don't joke or whatever, because if they joke, the other one's going to take offense to it. They're going to, because they're not good. They're not defensive. They're not, they're not connected, whatever. So little jokes turn into, acts of criticism, or that's the perception about them. So, the emotional connection, of course, you can joke with each other, but I'm going to run down a list I jotted down, if you will, real quick, actually, maybe a couple minutes before the show off the top of my head, about, what are some attempts to build an emotional connection with one another. And it's very, very difficult to do when the emotional connection, let's face it, is not there, it's broken, it's non-existent, okay? Or let's face it, through traumatic experiences or through betrayals, big betrayals, you know what? That emotional connection is not there anymore. There's a huge disconnect. And what do you do to bring that back, okay? Number one on the top of my list, and I talk about this constantly, okay, with couples. You heard it on other episodes, okay? I'm huge on feelings, okay? What do you feel? And does your partner know what the hell you feel? Again, it's not a right or wrong. It's looking at, are you able to express what you feel? And clients that know me, they have seen me over the years. Well, I'm talking in years past. Usually clients don't see me that long because I work fast, okay? I want to get at the issues right away. But is going on feelings and going on, what is the purpose, okay? What is the purpose of you doing something? Like I said, you could be joking around trying to have fun, and your partner feels like, your purpose is to criticize, to rip apart, make fun, and that's not it. All purposes and perceptions, they change when we're not connected. I get it. I understand it. But I want couples to get it and understand it so they can get reconnected. So going back to feelings, are you expressing them? Are you verbally putting your feelings into words that you feel
sad, you feel not connected, you feel lost in the relationship, right? You don't feel loved, appreciated. Maybe you feel you're taken for granted. You feel abandoned. That's, lonely. These are all, terms I hear often on a daily basis in my office, if not a weekly basis, until couples start feeling better about it and start getting these feelings out and putting them into words. What are they? I feel frustrated. Okay, what's causing that? You get me? So are you able to put your feelings into words? And a big thing is, and you know what, textbooks, everything comes out with I statements. And this is one thing I say about I statements that I do agree with big time, is going after, expressing how you feel. I feel this. You made me do this. You made me feel this. You understand? There's a big difference between that and then, I feel it. You own how you feel, and there's nothing wrong with it. Now what do we do with it? Instead of trying to attack your partner, okay? So put your feelings into words. And this is not, let's face it, the tit-for-tat battle begins, right? The battle of, I'm going to outdo you. I'm going to make you feel how I feel, right? I don't feel loved by you. Well, I don't feel loved by you. Screw you, And it comes out this way. I'm laughing, but it's not funny, okay? People argue and scream, and I try to cut through that right away. Primarily in the second session, whatever, I let them do their thing so I can, and I'll intervene and, bits and pieces here and there during the first session. I'm very active, but I want to see their dynamic. I want to see how they engage in each other. Are they listening to each other? Are they actually hearing each other? Or are they, attacking each other by the examples I just gave? I feel lonely. I miss you. Well, screw you. What do you want me to do? And the defensive go up. So you need to put your feelings into words, okay? Simple, right? It's not always easy, okay? Because a lot of people, right, they might not care what you feel, but I want you to care how you feel and to own what you feel. So other things to deepen the connection, okay? Ask open-ended questions. And a lot of people, they might not know what they are, okay? You can ask open-ended question, right? Was your day good? Yes, no, so-so. Those are closed-end questions, right? You know what? What happened with your day today? What was good about it? Those are open-ended questions, and people can't simply answer yes, no, maybe. There's more expansion. It opens up the questioning and opens up dialogue, okay, for one another, and it's not just left on the table where that's it, that's all I get. And people that know me, I like to talk, right? In most cases, I have my quiet moments, but I like to talk because I want to learn from people. I want to learn from clients. I want to learn from people in my personal circle. What's going on with them? What's happening? Man, how'd you, feel? How'd that hit you? How'd that affect you? You know what? I want to hear about those open-ended questions to bring more dialogue. And what open-ended questions do as well, it allows for expansion of conversations, right? Big time, right? And it's also allowing the person, your partner, right, to be able to feel important, to feel like you care about them, and you're not just asking, oh, you know what, the weather's good outside. Yeah. You get me? It's about carrying on conversations, and it's about going after, more dialogue, more communication, opening those up and making each other feel important and cared about. And open-ended questions can do that, okay? So put your feelings into words. Ask open-ended questions. Hey, Brian. Hey, what's up? Welcome. I appreciate you joining in, tuning in, okay? Another one that a lot of people don't, maybe they leave people hanging, if you will. So number 3 is coming up with follow-up statements or questions, okay? These are comments that deepen the connection even after the open-ended questions. They do that. Damn, how'd that make you, this happened to you? How'd that hit you? How'd that affect you? Man, that had to hurt. That had to suck. Whatever it is, whatever your words are, right? That will, those follow-up comments and questions are going to make your partner, realize you were paying attention, right? That you are getting where they're coming from, or if not, you're willing to learn. So those follow-up questions can deepen the connection that you feel with each other, and make your partner feel that you are listening and that you care about what's going on, about how an event affected them, okay? How it hit them, how it might have hurt them, how maybe even excited, right? Open-ended questions and putting feelings into words can be excitement. It can be good things, not always negative, okay? Oh my God, they had to be excited, man. You got that raise, you got that promotion, awesome, woo! You know what, how, man, were you excited? Were you, how'd that hit you? How excited were you? Oh my God, I was with that, right? And those lines of questionings make your partner feel engaged and feel that you're involved together. And how can that not deepen your emotional connection with one another? I don't know, okay? Maybe not. But my assumption is these are only going to help you rebuild the emotional connection. It's funny how many people talk about, oh my God, used to ask me questions about my day left and right. And this comes from men and women, people. It's not a gender issue. It's an individual issue. And how many times couples in my office, Greg, we don't talk anymore. We talk about the kids, the bills. That's it. Maybe once in a while about our job, what happened in the day, but we don't have the deep conversations that we used to. Is it because there's no more subjects to talk about? You can Google subjects to talk about on a daily basis, okay? News, world events, charity functions, disasters. There's so much to be able to talk about. So that's when couples say, we have nothing to talk about. I'm like, really? I can give you a bunch of stuff to talk about. Just look at, the news and, even good things going on in the world. And there's a lot of things, but man, what would happen if that happened here, or if that happened to us? How would that affect you? And that communication, that dialogue, and the follow-up statements and comments I mentioned will help further, connect you two from the heart and from the soul in those emotional connections, okay? Another thing, the fourth thing to deepen emotional connection, okay? This is so huge, and a lot of people, they lose it, they don't know how to, or let's face it, maybe they've never been there. And this is, or these two elements tend to be the first thing that goes down the toilet when there is a huge disconnect, when there is, you're fighting, you're arguing, and that is empathy and compassion for one another. How many times you get an argument, is there compassion or empathy? Well, I love you. I'm sorry. You know what? I get this arguing and it's tough on you. Oh yeah, screw you. You say, and it turns into this. So, compassion and empathy. And I'm going to give you a huge word, maybe words of advice, people. I'm talking, and what I deal with, of course, are romantic relationships. Couples, in romantic relationships, married couples. I see all kind of couples, not married, married, whatever. That doesn't matter. I'm all about love and being connected and a happy relationship. And you know what? When the compassion and empathy for one another, Greg, he used to care about me. He used to show me he cared. He would listen to me. He would hold me and hug me if I had a bad day. Or she would, hold me or hug me if I had a bad day, Greg. She would be there for me. Yeah, I could tell, whatever, my partner would care for me. And all of a sudden that empathy and that compassion is gone. And some people that were not raised with, compassion or empathy even being expressed. And, people know I used to work with a lot of traumatic situations and kids, sexual abuse and neglect and, physical abuse. I could go on, where there wasn't compassion, there wasn't empathy. Not at all. So awesome, they don't know how to express it. And one thing I tell people, Google it. YouTube videos on compassion and empathy. And this is another way, not that, movies or TV shows, expressing compassion and empathy for one another. You can learn, see what they're doing. That's an expression of compassion. That's an expression of empathy. So I use, certain, you could use movies, TV shows, YouTube, expressions of compassion or just compassion, and you can learn about that and be able to feel it. And sometimes when people change and they try to express empathy or compassion, it might not work for that partner because, number one, they're not used to it. Let's face it, they don't believe it's real or authentic. And that's where I tell that this is new for me. It's new for us. I'm doing it because I want to. It turns into a situation where someone tries to show that compassion, empathy. Oh, you're just doing it because Greg said so. I get this often. No. And then fine, screw you. I tried and it did, screw you. See, nothing's ever good enough for you. And it turns into this because of the insecurities, the defenses, and the emotional connection is gone. I'm trying to rebuild it. And that's where I want people to say, you know what? I do want to show you empathy and compassion. I'm working on that. I want to show you I care about how you feel. And then you can go from there. That you stand your ground and it doesn't turn into an argument or a fight, people, like a lot of times it does, okay? So, another thing I'm huge on, okay, is affection and touching. This doesn't mean you have to be all over each other left and right, 24/7, inside and out type of thing. Everybody has their level of affection that works for them, okay? It's very subjective, different for everybody. I get complaints a lot from couples that, you know what, Greg, she doesn't touch me anymore. You know what, he doesn't hold me. He doesn't kiss me. She doesn't kiss me anymore. We never hold hands anymore when we're walking outside, going shopping, going in the store, whatever, when we're meeting friends. You know what, he used to put his arm around me or, put his arm on my back or hold my hand, or she used to grab my hand, Greg, or give me a kiss. Made me feel awesome. It made me feel so important and loved. And all of a sudden the touching goes down the toilet. It stops, okay? Or you look at what causes that. Oh, kids, life, busy. I get all this, okay? But this is also where an element where you be able to look at, where did touching, where did the affection go? And it's not a right or wrong, but it's going after, what works for you. And the one thing, like I said, I get a lot of complaints from individuals, well, the couples, I should say, one partner. Oh my God, they're not affectionate. And I get this from the other part. Well, Greg, I'm just not affectionate. And this comes from, women, men. It's not me, Greg. I'm just not an affectionate person, I guess. And then I hear from their partner, but you're affectionate with the dog, with the cat, with the pets. You're affectionate and loving with the kids. Give them hugs, So that tells me you are affectionate, but you're just not affectionate with your partner, with each other, and looking at what's going on. So that is sort of, and it sort of helps people sort of maybe verbally, emotionally smack them in the face and wake up a little bit. You know what? You might have a point. You know what? I am affectionate with the kids, with the pets, with the dogs. What's going on? What is blocking you from being affectionate with your partner? And it's usually, I don't feel safe. I don't feel connected. I don't feel, that type of aspect. And they don't know it. It's not, right, in front of their forehead type of thing. It's almost like on the subconscious level that they forgot about. They don't really know. It's a self-protection mechanism. But, when they say they're not affectionate, and then their partner sees them, you're affectionate with, your, nieces, nephews, with your own kids, with the pets, neighbor's dog, you're all affectionate, petting it, and all this stuff, and I don't get any affectionate. When when you walk in the door, you're all over the kids and the pets, but you're not ever coming to me to give me a hug and a kiss. It hurts people, and these things, when you start implementing these aspects and start, being able to go after, these things again, it can help enliven the emotional connection. It can deepen that emotional connection big time. And the last thing is about, everyone talks about date night. And there's part of a group I'm in too that I mentioned this. Everyone talks about date night. Well, we're going to have a date night. But what if you're not connected? What if you're bored? What if you feel like you don't like each other, but you're having a date night? That's what I go after. What do you do to enjoy each other? Right? That you enjoy each other. You feel connected. When do you feel the most connected? right? Everyone says date night, we're going to do it, and that you just go through the motions. I don't want people to go just through the motions. I want you to enjoy each other. I want you to, start working on the connection and having fun, maybe laughing with one another, and it's not a right or wrong going after it. So again, you know what? These six things that can deepen emotional connection, and most of the time they will enhance that connection, okay? Is put your feelings into words, okay? Ask open-ended questions. Questions, again, that can't be answered with a simple yes or no or maybe, right? So put your feelings into word. Ask open-ended questions. Then after that, go with follow-up statements and comments that, will deepen that connection. Ask for more elaborations about how your partner feels, what they thought about certain things, okay? For follow-up questions. Express compassion and empathy, okay? Affection. Touch one another, okay? Very important. And then, you know what? Do activities, whatever they are. It could be sitting on the couch watching a movie, going for a walk, dancing, whatever it is, painting with a twist, whatever it is, but that you enjoy each other, okay? Activities that you can do that will bridge connection, okay? You go to a friend's party or over a friend's house, right? The guys go here, talking with the guys, typically. Women are talking with the women over here, right? That's not deepening your connection, right? We had a date night. We did this. It's about you two spending time together. You two, nobody else. But some people have a hard time doing that because, what? They're bored. They're not emotionally connected. Remember when you could talk about anything when you first started dating, when you first maybe got married, that type of thing. You didn't need anybody else. It was just you two. So let's get back to those practices, okay? So please share my episodes. I want to help as many people out there as possible. Check out my website, theartofrelationships.org. And again, next Wednesday night, there's going to be a special live episode of the Art of Relationships show, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to have a good friend of mine, buddy of mine, Rondell Biggs, with me, and we're going to be talking about dating and for those single people out there and give some insights and maybe share some of his experiences in the dating realm, maybe my past experiences as well. And we're going to have a lot of fun, okay? So I'll announce that a little bit. So everybody, you know what? Take care. Have a safe Thursday. Peace and love, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.